The Audi S8 has always worked to a demanding brief, that of delivering the conflicting virtues of limousine-like progress and sports saloon dynamism. In this facelifted 4th generation form, the car features a slightly sharper look, but the engineering's unchanged, which means you get a potent 4-litre twin-turbo petrol V8 featuring mild hybrid tech and putting out 571 PS. Perhaps more significantly, they're still arguably the most sophisticated suspension package that the Ingolstadt brand has ever offered on one of its models. Sounds promising.
The 571 PS 4-litre twin-turbo V8 under the bonnet of this 4th generation S8 might be 34 PS down on the output generated by the final S8 Plus version of its D4 series pre-2017 era predecessor, but pulling power has increased in this generation to a thumping 800 Newton meters, so it's very definitely quicker in the real world. Torque is transmitted to the tarmac via an upgraded 8-speed Tiptronic auto gearbox, predictive active suspension, dynamic all-wheel steering and quattro 4-wheel drive, supplemented by a rear sport differential which constantly varies the amount of drive that's sent to each individual rear wheel. The quattro system is variable too, depending on the conditions. Up to 70% of torque can be directed to the front wheels, or alternatively up to 85% of power can be directed rearwards. And of course this S8 is fast. 62 miles an hour from rest takes just 3.8 seconds. Perhaps the key change made with this D5 series model though is the addition of its predictive active suspension setup, which uses a camera to scan the road ahead as you drive, along with electromechanical actuators which constantly vary the ride height to suit the tarmac ahead, separately loading or relieving each wheel based on road conditions to an extent that depends on the drive select driving mode that you've chosen. Choose Comfort Plus, for example, and the suspension tilts the body into the turns to reduce lateral load. Choose Dynamic though, and the body roll is cut by around half of what you get with a standard sprung suspension. Slightly bolder interior and exterior design elements are intended to finally hone the character of the improved version of this 4th generation S8. As with more ordinary A8s, there's a larger single frame front grille with restyled corner cutouts, plus the LED headlamps have been revised and can now, as here, feature Audi's latest digital matrix LED tech, where each light contains 1.3 million micro mirrors. This model is based on the shorter wheelbase body shape and in this updated form features smarter side skirts and redesigned wheels, either 20-inch S-design alloys or these larger 21-inch rims. As usual with Audi full S models, there are silver exterior mirror housings. The cabin is distinguished by an upper inlay exclusive to the S8 made of carbon vector with a special 3D depth effect. Directly below that is an inlay of dark brushed matte aluminium. The standard sports seats are trimmed in either Valcona or fine Napa premium leather. As before, there's a 12.3-inch digital cockpit instrument screen plus 2 centre monitors, a 10.1-inch one for the media functions and a lower 8.6-inch unit for the climate controls. The instrument screen features S-specific red graphics and a special F-performance layout where the focus is the rev counter, displayed as a square graph. In the rear, as you'd expect, there's opulent room for a couple of adults in the leather-stitched rear compartment. And of course, out back, you get a big 505-litre boot. Audi makes much of this Mark IV model's mild hybrid engine tech, which isn't nearly enough to make up for this D5 series model's higher running costs. Its combined cycle fuel economy figure is 24.4 miles per gallon, and the CO2 return is a smoky 260 grams per kilometre. How to sum up an Audi S8? Well, it's beautifully finished, it rides imperiously, it isn't falsely modest, and it's backed up by a sledgehammer punch of acceleration. Ultimately, it's a car that credits its owner with a bit of savvy, someone who demands extreme performance, of course, but doesn't want a shouty, showy set of wheels. Sometimes, you see, the car is merely the supporting cast.